There is no doubt that INFJs are unique. They make up just 1 to 3% of the US population after all. If you recognize yourself as an INFJ and have a crush on someone, you may be wondering if that person is too toxic for you. When you have feelings for someone, it's easy to turn a blind eye to the negatives and see everything they do in a positive light. However, to save you from being in a toxic relationship and to protect you from heartbreak, here are the types of toxic crushes you should absolutely avoid as an INFJ. Number 10. The arrogant. Arrogant people see everything that anyone does as a personal challenge, and in the long run, this doesn't sit well with INFJs. Arrogance is nothing but false confidence, and it always masks major insecurities. INFJs detest this kind of melodramatic behavior where people are not true to themselves. They love to listen to people's problems and help them sort out their emotions, so when someone is being super arrogant or passive-aggressive, they just can't stand it. INFJs prize authenticity and honesty and hate passive aggression, phoniness, or stubbornness to change. A study by the University of Akron found that arrogant people were more disagreeable and had more cognitive problems than average people, so it's best for INFJs to avoid them for their mental sanity. Number 9. The controllers. INFJs can't tolerate being talked down to, micromanaged, or patronized. Some people may misunderstand the quiet and sensitive nature of INFJs as a form of weakness and feel the need to take charge of their lives. However, INFJs hate this kind of controlling behavior, and although they may prefer to bite their tongue out of politeness initially, these suppressed feelings will only surge to the surface eventually and cause them to lash out with uncharacteristic resolve and anger. A relationship with someone who is condescending will only lead to arguments in the future, and the controller's superior attitude will be attacked with full gusto by INFJs. Number 8. The manipulators. Manipulators, better known as narcissists, suck the time and energy out of everyone's life under the guise of friendship and a genuine helping hand. They can be tricky to deal with because they treat everyone as a friend. They know what their target's like, what makes them happy, and what they think is funny. But they use this knowledge as a part of a hidden agenda and thrive off people's shortcomings. INFJs can usually see through a narcissist's facade in charming ways, but sometimes they may be willing to make their relationship work. However, it's best to stay away from them, as manipulators always want something from you and can feed on your mental anguish. Down the line, you may feel mentally drained and physically exhausted because of all the mind games the manipulator is playing on you. Your relationship with them will be all take with little to no giving. They will do anything to win you over to their side just to take advantage of you. Number 7. The Extreme Extroverts. INFJs, as their name suggests, are introverts. While they can definitely hold their own in the spotlight, they prefer not to. Even though they hate attention, people tend to gravitate toward them for their compassionate nature and often give these introverts an unwanted amount of attention. INFJs are persuasive. They can put their thoughts and feelings into words seamlessly. Hence, they often attract extroverts who can balance out their personalities. However, extreme extroverts are always in need of the spotlight and can inadvertently cause the light to shine too brightly for an INFJ's liking. Being in a relationship with an attention seeker may not give an INFJ a time and place to recharge, things that make them tick. INFJs value their alone time, and if they're being dragged from one social event to the next, they just can't handle it. So no matter how much an extrovert pressurizes you to hang out, assert and vocalize your need to be alone since it's important for your wellness. Number 6. The critics. INFJs are perfectionists by nature and define themselves by their goals and their ability to achieve them. Implications from others or even a passing idea of imperfection is something this personality type truly dislikes. Judgmental people are quick to tell others what they think is right and wrong. They have a way of taking the thing people are most passionate about and making them feel horrible about it. Instead of appreciating the efforts poured into something and learning from those who are different from them, they simply look down on others. INFJs should do themselves a favor and steer clear of judgmental people. INFJs are also quite sensitive and will feel hurt and angry if their efforts are undervalued. This toxic crush can stifle an INFJ's desire of being a passionate, expressive, and goal-oriented person, so it's best to nip any feelings for this type in the bud. Number 5. The gossip. For an INFJ, the idea of gossip is something that's distasteful, and they're often morally disturbed by it. They're uncomfortable talking behind someone's back or spreading terrible rumors which cannot be confirmed. Gossipers, on the other hand, derive pleasure from the misfortune that others face. They find it fun to peer into somebody else's personal or professional faults at first, but over time, anyone will find that it gets tiring and hurts a lot of people. INFJs prefer seeing the good in everything, so they find it taxing to be around someone catty or focused on spreading truly harmful gossips. These personality types are unafraid to speak out their minds when they overhear someone speaking negatively about their loved ones or when they are pushed to the limit. If you're a fiercely loyal INFJ, then stay away from gossipers even if you have a crush on them. This is because it can result in a toxic relationship, and if you hear your loved one being gossiped about, your supportive nature will lead to an aggressive response. Number 4, the victim. Victims are tough to identify because people initially empathize with their problems and what they have been through. But as time passes, INFJs will begin to feel burdened when their time of need is just all the time. This type of toxic crush tends to push away personal responsibilities by transforming every speed bump or minor obstacle they face into an uncrossable mountain. They do not see tough times as opportunities to learn. Instead, they crib, whine, and wallow in their sadness. This kind of relationship is toxic for an INFJ because they pour a great deal of energy and care into their relationships. Others' feelings often melt into their own, and the negative emotions that victims have converted an INFJ and hamper their daily lifestyle. Number 3, the temperamental. Some people have no control over their emotions and lash out at anyone about any minor inconvenience. They project their feelings onto others and make them think that they're the cause of their malaise. INFJs hate conflict, and arguing for the sake of it completely baffles them. They steer clear of any kind of conflict like the plague. While they can and will hold their own in the face of conflicts in which they're passionate about the issue at hand, they typically don't engage in discussions that stem out of thin air. Temperamental people are toxic since they're tough to dump from your life, since their lack of control over their powerful emotions will inevitably make you feel bad for them. However, when push comes to shove, these people can use INFJs to dump their emotions on the latter, and hence, it should be avoided at all costs. Number 2, the self-absorbed. One of the most interesting things about INFJs is that they can read people like a book. Often called human lie detectors, INFJs can spot inauthentic, shallow, and self-absorbed people from a mile away. While the quality is a major turnoff for INFJs, if they have a crush on one, they may be blinded by their feelings. Self-absorbed people bring down others through the impassioned distance they maintain from people. When you hang out with them, you usually start feeling completely alone and dismissed when you voice out your opinions. Meaningful connections are essential to INFJs, and they can only form a strong connection with authentic, real, and empathic people. However, as far as self-absorbed people are concerned, there's no point in having a real connection with anyone, as they think that they are better than everyone else. If you're an INFJ, run away from them, as they will merely use you as a tool to build their self-esteem. Number 1, the small talkers. If there is one thing an INFJ hates more than anything else, it's small talk. This Myers-Briggs personality type hates anything they consider fake, which includes surface-level conversation. There's a time and place for small talk, and although INFJs understand that most people are not comfortable diving into deep conversations with strangers, they hate trying to fill awkward silences. INFJs like to skip the less important chit-chat and get right down into the heart of the matter. So if they have a crush on a small talker, it's best to be aware, since a relationship with them may be a waste of time, as the small talker might always shy away from meaningful, deep conversations. What are your thoughts about these toxic crushes? Have you ever come across any? As always, like and share this video and subscribe to our channel for more updates on psychology.